Hi, I'm Mors Radis,
And I'm Rulebook Heavily.
and welcome back to Deathgate, finally. We're getting right into the swing of things here with the first puzzle. That's Aristogon up there in the window. And that means an Aristogon on our piece of paper corresponds to die. That doesn't matter right this second. We have a locked door, and Haplo knows what that means.
Yep, there's the 3-sound trick.
Yep. You have to use different movements with each lock, and as you'll see with this lock, we actually have more movements than sounds, so it takes a bit to get open. Once we do, we find a statue in some kind of magic field. Also, the statue is wearing a necklace, and Haplo knows he must get that necklace.
Well, yeah. Preferably the statue, too.
Yep, but unfortunately the red field will kill us if we try to touch it.
Well, minor detail.
Also, the necklace is magical in the sense that it will short-circuit another spell, so it's actually useful. We're not just stealing it for shits and giggles.
I do like that how Identify essentially tells you the solution to an entirely different puzzle.
Yeah, it's
like
kind of handy that way. So, yeah, turns out statues aren't really intended to walk.
Well, okay, that limits the animate spell even further.
But hey, it got the necklace out of there. Let's put it on.
Yay!
Alright, so, the puzzle here.
At least they animated the statue.
We know from the book that we read quite a while ago that to get in, we have to press the hands. Now, secret here is just that each island corresponds to a word in that sentence. We have to press the hands in the order that the material they're made of, the first letter of the material corresponds to the letters in the word. We
Hands.
just press it.
Yeah. Die is diamond, ivory, emerald.
Iron, actually, not ivory.
Oh, well, whatever.
So we reach an empty room with a pedestal. So naturally we cast Identify because, that's just what you do when you run into things you don't recognize.
Haplo doesn't look at things anymore, he just identifies them.
Yep, put necklace in pedestal, and what do you know? We get, all of the treasure. Like, all of it. It's here now.
Oh, nice.
Most of it, however, cannot be interacted with, so we're going to take the stuff that can. Specifically these 2 books, and that globe.
Oh, hello.
The moment we take those things, we run into some problems.
Hi, Hugh.
Specifically, Hugh came back.
Unfortunately, we can't suffer someone who's tried to steal from the
And
Brotherhood.
Hugh's not very happy with us. I mean, he admires our balls. That's about it. Now, if you do anything, literally anything, you die.
Okay.
Look at things, you die. Talk to Hugh, you die.
I like that they had a dialogue for that.
Talk to the guard, you die. The solution is to take the necklace.
Bye, Hugh.
Because if you read the book before, whatever is in the room but not on the pedestal when the necklace is removed gets sent into the alternate dimension where they store their loot. I'm sure someone will come back eventually and let Hugh out of there.
Assuming we leave the necklace behind anywhere?
Well, they've got to have more than one. Why would we leave it behind?
Fair enough.
Anyway, this rewards us with our 2 books and the glass sphere. Well, crystal sphere, I believe.
No thief has ever survived.
Oh, and we can leave.
We've got to get out of here. Skirvash isn't safe for either of us. The
But
Brotherhood is
as the urchin tells us, we now have to leave Skirvash because the Brotherhood will kill us if we stay here very long.
And this is the last we ever see of Hugh in this game.
Yeah, he's gone. He's done. For all we know, he may be stuck in the other world forever.
I'm so happy right now.
I've decided to stay on board.
Instead, the humans will drop us back off on Drevlin, where we can finish our work. Because remember, all of this has been just to get rid of the gods, and get all the pipes, and get back to Drevlin.
Correction, this has all been so we can talk to Grapple Rockdigger some more.
Well, yes. The conditions for talking to Grapple Rockdigger are that we got rid of the gods and fix his pipes.
Exactly.
But now we finally have a chance to examine the loot we got. The first book we found was a book on Prion. And it appears to be written by the Sartans.
Prion being the world of fire. Yep, we finally found some hints on our second world.
And if you notice the symbol, that's what we were here for. That is the symbol of the world of Prion.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So now we have one of the things that we wanted to find on this world. Now, I'm not entirely sure why the Sartans left this book here, but the Brotherhood found it and put it in their big old treasure pile.
Which, of course, is foreshadowed plenty in the book. Oh, hello, music. I'm pretty sure this musical notation is actually in one of the books.
Huh, did not know that.
Yeah. There's several pieces of sheet music in the series, printed in the appendices.
Huh. Well, this book details a bunch of information on Prion, which you can find in the thread. But the important thing to note here is that music was to control something called Titans, spelled with a Y.
Of course.
We also got a handbook on the Kixie Winsey.
I wonder how...
They made one.
Yeah, I wonder how much the dwarves would pay to, see this book.
Doesn't matter, because we're not giving it to them.
Oh, of course not.
Haplo does not give things to people.
Except Grapple Rockdigger.
Yeah. But this book was apparently intended to be read by the humans. It was written by the Sartans, so it doesn't actually have information on how the Kixie Winsey works, just how to make it do things.
Good enough for Haplo.
Yeah. So, we have solved one of Gropple's problems. In fact, we solved it quite a while ago.
Oh, yeah. So...
Now, I was wrong about one thing. There is a rotation thing for the pipes.
Oh.
In fact, the puzzle is not solvable without rotating the pipes.
I was pretty sure there was some puzzle in this game where you couldn't solve, where you couldn't rotate something, but, well, alright then.
The trick is that the game just doesn't really make the fact that there is a rotation button very obvious.
Of course not. Why would it help you?
So as you can see, I puzzled over the solution here for a bit. Because I know I have all of the pipe pieces.
It
turns out if you use the arrow buttons...
Well, it's logical, you gotta admit that.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense, it's just weird and inconvenient.
Little bit. So now I'm just trying to figure out how to actually solve the puzzle now. And the answer is that there are multiple rotations needed to solve it.
Of course. Bioshock hacking this ain't.
No.
Here we go.
But once we get everything fixed, pipes are all fixed. There's just one small problem.
There's still a hole in it.
I'm not talking with you
yes.
until the pipe is completely fixed.
Grapple notices this. So, points to him. Because Haplo sure wouldn't.
Yeah. I do appreciate how the actual solution there looks like the solution you end up with.
Yeah, they did pretty well there. And because Haplo is a jerk, he pours oil on Grapple again. And then fixes the problem. Because we've been carrying this cork around since the first time we were here.
Happy
But hey,
puppies.
it's fixed now. And Grapple has become happy enough to stop sitting there with his hand on his ear.
He has an entirely new animation.
I did hear some
Yep.
yelling and stomping, but I just
And
screamed for those
so
scoundheads to keep it
now
down.
we are informing him that we solved his problems. He actually didn't know the gods had left yet.
Well, he wouldn't have left this room, but
No, and there were no gods in this
How
room.
does it feel to be up and running again?
which is actually why I was in here. I mean, technically, but hey.
Can't you see very
Well, that and the pipes were his
You have
responsibility.
no idea what I had to go through to get these pipes.
I'm sure it was quite an adventure.
He's still deaf,
Brimming
though.
with danger, intrigue, magic. I've told a tale or two like that myself.
Now, Haplo can try
You
to
agree,
brag
once
to
the gods were
Grapple, but
gone, the pipes were fixed.
Grapple doesn't want to hear
Answer my
anything about it.
questions.
That was ideal, I suppose.
Yeah.
And since you did fix the Kixie Winsy, I guess I could spin a tale
Yeah,
or two with
the
you.
Haplo did fix the Kixie Wizzy. He still has no idea how or why, but
How old are you
Yep.
really?
Old enough
But,
to recognize
now
a
Grapple will tell us
question
things.
when I hear one.
What
Not
is it
everything,
that
though.
the Kixie Winsy does exactly?
Sonny, nobody knows exactly why the Kixie Winsy was created. A man
So,
just built it long ago, even
Grapple
before
doesn't have
Kixie.
any idea why the Kixie
According to
Winsy
the
was
legends,
made
the
either,
Nazis intended the
but,
Kixie Winsy to take care of
you know,
everyone.
no one does.
yeah, and the dwarves generally just don't care, which is interesting to me.
Well, no, they have jobs to
Can
do.
you tell me
Yeah,
about the
I mean, it
magic?
gives them plenty to do, and that's good enough.
The dwarves worship them before the gods.
He does know a little about the Mangers, though. He once found a room
Come close.
full of crystal sarcophagi, essentially, with Mangers in them.
Yeah, this was actually, you know, this was actually an event in the novels, and
Looking at the rest of the world sea,
you know how my favorite character in the series ever, you know, is sort of sidelined in this game?
Yeah.
She was the one who found the sarcophagi.
Well, now it's Grapple.
Exactly.
Uh,
Gives it takes away.
but, yeah. Grapple also found something in that room, which was a giant statue that had what is probably the world seal on it.
Aha.
Now, unfortunately, Grapple has no idea where it is, but if he had an old geological survey map, he might be able to point it out to us.
Well, that seems like an unusually specific item hunt.
where would I find it?
Yes. Yes, it does. But, you know, if we could get him the map, then he could tell us where it was, but, you know, those papers must have been destroyed years ago.
If only we had a room full of documents to search.
Actually, we don't need that room anymore,
Oh, yeah.
because we've been carrying around a geological survey map.
It was
Covered
it was the
in,
speech we
marmalade.
ruined with the marmalade.
Yes. Turns out it's exactly what we needed.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But, yeah, Grapple kept a lump of the iron ore that he had been following in the vein to get to that room. Apparently it was one of the best iron ore veins he'd ever found. Dwarves.
Sentimental.
Yeah. But he gave us the lump of iron, and we're actually going to need that.
Yeah.
Because if as we read in the Kixie Winsy handbook, if we put the right mineral into the Kixie Winsy, we can get it to drill new tunnels.
And of course, if we put the right mineral in, it will remember where that mineral came from.
Yep, it will go find that vein.
This puzzle, of course, wouldn't work in the novels because Drevlin didn't have any minerals in it. At all.
Whoa, what, they'd already been mined out?
Up completely.
Oh, well then.
All of the minerals acquired by the Kixie Winsy were acquired by gigantic claws that reached down into the storm below.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, in this game we have a drill machine.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Opened up a new tunnel, and hey, what do you know? This room full of sarcophagi and a giant Sartan statue.
And a unique tune that we're going to hear again later.
Yep. The sarcophagi, if we identify them, are sleep chambers. So everyone in this room should be alive. So let's wake them up if we can figure out how. However, it turns out the naming rune of Arianis, not actually magical. Who knew?
Huh. Oh.
The statue, if we identify it, is the lock. And we have the key. We just happen to find it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but, so once we put the globe in the statue's hands, and remember, the globe was one of the only things we could interact with in the whole treasure hoard.
Yeah.
Haplo just picked it up because he liked it.
I actually do wonder, I don't remember this. Can you exit the treasure hoard and come back here without the globe?
Do you know? I have no idea. I don't think so, though. But, all the Sartans are dead.
Dead as doornails.
All of them. Yeah.
That's a nice description, Haplo. That's very.
And remember, they shouldn't be dead.
Yeah.
Those were sleep chambers, not death chambers.
Dead as doornails. This is actually kind of a minor thing. It's one of Tracy Hickman's favorite sayings. So he uses it a lot in his book. So that's probably why it appears here.
And now I just felt like trying this. See if I could use motion on the statue. No, but they actually put in text for it.
I appreciate that. I mean, this game doesn't really have an animation budget, but it sure paid for text.
Oh yeah, plenty of it.
My friend.
Anyway, let's see how Limbic's doing now.
Their glow disappeared.
I mean, things seem to be going well for him.
So happy.
He's writing speeches.
Beautiful. Now we must reorganize our lives. Many of us feel lost.
That's pretty much all he's ever done, but hey, he's writing speeches.
Do what you know, man.
About that now.
Yep, he's keeping morale up.
I mean,
That's important.
yeah.
I mean, never mind that as far as we can tell, there's only 4 dwarves. He's keeping morale up.
Hello again.
Hi, Jar.
Talk about now.
Yep, unfortunately, Jar...
Know about
Well, Jar has noticed that the gods are gone, but that's about it. Apparently Grapple outsmarted them.
Yes. Ah, Grapple, I like you.
Wait a second. I'm the reason the gods
And,
are gone. I outsmarted them.
Yeah, Haplo is not gonna get any credit for anything he does on this entire world.
Very grateful for your help.
We had a small role.
I've gotta go.
Just a small one. It was all Grapple, really.
I like how Haplo doesn't fight over that. He just goes, yeah, alright, whatever.
Alright, and we're going to steal a slice of bread on our way out as just, revenge.
Well, yeah.
Yep. But we now have everything we came for. We got the air seal piece, we got the rune from Prion.
Yeah, this puzzle had me stumped for ages. I didn't realize that the
I mean,
rune...
it's really quite simple if you realize that the Prion rune is on the book.
Yeah. And of course that you can transfer from any surface to another surface.
Well, you can only transfer it to the steering stone. That's the only thing you can cast rune transfer, to transfer things to.
Yeah, but
you can cast the spell itself on anything.
it's just, it's a clever little puzzle, but it kept me stumped way too long.
Yep, and now we're back off to the Nexus. We get these little Nexus interludes between each world. And mostly they're just so Haplo can report into Czar.
Oh yes, Czar.
And we get some exposition while we're here too, because if there's one thing Czar is good at, it's exposition.
Congratulations. Now, please give
Well,
me
exposition and racism.
Oh yeah. Let's forget that.
Yep, Haplo tells Czar all about his adventures and the room full of dead Sartans.
Let's just skip over that.
Yeah, and Czar is more interested in the dead Sartans than anything else. Well, also the book that we found.
It does ask a couple of really pertinent questions, though, like, why are they dead?
Yeah, Czar's kind of upset about that, because he wants to be the one to kill the Sartans.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Haplo has some questions of his own. for example, why were the Mensch not horribly treated if the Sartans were everything you say they were? I mean, that's a thing. Now, the reason, according to Tsar, is because the Sartan were all dead. Never mind the fact that they'd sealed themselves in sleep chambers. The Sartans were dead, therefore everything was fine.
Well, also, if you think about it, all of the races were, exactly where the Sartan placed them, basically.
Yep.
So...
But, Tsar does agree with the Sartans that the Mensch need to be guided, but, it's going to be patron guidance, not Sartan.
They are like children, of course, Char, of course, whatever.
Yeah,
What do you suppose killed the Sartan?
Well, let's move on from Grandpa Tsar being all racist. We've got to figure out what killed the Sartan. I mean, Tsar has no idea, let's be honest.
Interesting detail there that
No one has
plagues
any
cross
idea.
species barriers, apparently.
Well, they're all vaguely humanoid, I guess.
That biology, that's how it works.
Yep. Tsar will also happily tell us about his water-damaged book, and is going to give us some information that will be extremely important about, I don't know, 6 months from now.
At this rate, yeah.
But he has found out which 6 Sartans were most responsible for this whole sundering plan.
Now, I want everyone to take careful note of this conversation and realize that you cannot finish this game without understanding it.
Yes, this conversation that you can only really have once.
Never again.
And this whole 6 devils thing, I have no idea where this came from, and it's kind of silly.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with the novels.
Tell me about Sam.
So they just made this shit up?
Yep.
Okay.
I have no idea. I mean, this idea that Char would name his enemies like that, no.
In fact, there was much dissension on the
Well, apparently he did, and it is goofy as hell.
He did it just so that he would get to speak more. That's my theory.
I can buy that.
Just so you would have to listen to him that much longer.
But apparently Sama was the devil of the soul because he spoke really well, and Dmitri is an artist. And I am not entirely sure why he was instrumental to all this, because he didn't like being there. Orsef was Sama's advisor, and apparently liked the Mensch. Okay.
And he spent a lot of time with the Mensch, and therefore he was the devil of the heart.
Yeah, this isn't ever going to make a ton of sense.
Nope.
Can you tell me about Lornoy?
I call Lornoy.
Lornoy, there's a name.
He was one of the few that saw them in
I don't think any of...
Well, Lornoy
He was the leader of the pitiful.
Lornoy was apparently the guy who was against this entire plan,
But he was still there.
Was one of the instrumental
and instrumental to it, in fact.
Sama must have talked swiftly to convince
If only any of these characters had existed in the novels.
Tyler is the devil of the mind.
What, even Sama didn't?
Sama did, yeah, but...
Not for him.
Okay, but not Tyler, Lornoy, or Wayleth.
Tyler just makes me think like Greek letters, university, spring break,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Tyler was the frat boy, Sartan.
Yeah.
Is the devil of the tongue.
And Wayleth is, this is the name that is weirdest to me. I mean, Lornoy's up there, but Wayleth?
Bailiff? Huh?
What is that even from?
And the devil of the tongue is not the best speaker.
I'm afraid not.
Sama is, but Bailiff is the second best.
Second best,
Yeah,
yeah.
Basically, this is all about, saying how awesome Sama is, I think.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's go back
I
to
mean,
some
the
other
rest
topics.
of these dudes were... They each crafted one of the spells of the Sundering, but
Talk about some of the subjects
all
we
we
covered
know about
earlier.
them is that they were Sama's backup dancers.
Yeah. So it serves a kind of dual purpose in the story here, I think, because
Very well. I'll
the
be here.
books do build up Sama quite a bit before you meet him, before you actually read about him.
If you'll notice, Czar also cleared out our inventory a little.
Oh yeah.
He left us with the marmalade, though.
He doesn't like it.
Nope. And he will also talk to us about most of what he's left us with.
Oh yeah, because, you know, what you really need in a game like this is more opportunities to talk with Shar.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't have the time to look at every.
He doesn't want to know about the bread, though.
Must continue my research. Please return when you're ready to report.
And Haplo is going to show him pretty much everything,
Very good,
because
Haplo.
Haplo wants
Not
nothing
only
but a
does this book
approval.
have the learning rune of Priam
He's like a puppy.
but the text gives a lot
Yep.
of insight into the
This
realm
is
of
also
secrets.
helpful if, like Rulebook Heavily, you didn't
Romance
figure out the
magic
puzzle.
will serve as impressive.
Because if you show
The
Czar the
instantaneous
Prian
using of
handbook,
runes can
he
be
will
very
specifically
useful.
tell you it has the rune on it.
Yeah, that's... Yeah. I didn't like Shar, and I didn't like
Just
talking
a
with
wine
Shar, so
is
that's
a
why I
very
never figured that out.
insignificant match. I hope you didn't waste too much time.
Um,
reading it. That's nice,
Kinda
Haplo, but I
racist
don't-
there, Czar. Why did he even
That's
leave
very
us with the
amusing.
poetry book?
The spell on its back is more interesting, though.
I mean, I can't think of anything we're gonna use that
This
thing
arcane
for.
actually absorbs the energy of storms.
Pretty interested
and
in the
then
zinger,
releases
though.
I don't know.
An
Yeah,
ingenious
this
way
is-
of power
yeah, this seems kinda relevant.
Yeah, it's,
As
magical
important as
Sartan
this might have
energy
been,
source.
adventures
That's
in
pretty handy.
Arianis, it holds no interest for me.
Yeah,
The
Czar
antics of
really
the
just
Mensch
has
have
no
always
patience
been
for the
very
Mensch
good.
whatsoever.
I like how he has a different "this doesn't interest me" dialogue
No
for
thank
two
you.
different items there.
It's been touched by men.
Well, I'm pretty sure they wrote specific lines for him for pretty much every book except the poetry. God damn it, Czar!
That's awful.
Oh, yes.
That's nice. Haplo.
Here.
Anyway, we now have another piece of marmalade bread, but he doesn't want that either.
Didn't make
That's
him
nice,
throw away his book. Oh well.
Nope. So, back to our ship. We now have our new, our next world to examine, and that is Prian. It's a pretty nice place, really.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating in the book too, and it's fairly closely reproduced with some major differences.
Yeah. I would say it is probably the best place to live out of the worlds, with the possible exception of the water world.
Yeah,
I mean, it has sunlight, it has trees.
it has enough for everyone. You know, it's a nice place.
Yeah, and I mean, sunlight and trees is more than you get on Arianis or the Earth world. And you get one or the other, but not both.
Which makes the purpose of the world in the novels pretty interesting, actually. But we'll talk about that in the thread.
Yep, join us next time, and we will explore Prian.